Alright, let's get out of here, man. It's creepy.
Tired of the conventional girls' night out, these two friends decided to spend the night in the haunted Crescent Hotel in Arizona. Built in the 1800s, this hotel is well known for its numerous ghost sightings. Room 218 is the most active location, where multiple guests have reported seeing hands come out of the bathroom mirror. The crystal dining room has playful spirits in Victorian dresses, and a man, also in Victorian clothing, was seen sitting near the windows. Dr. Norman Baker, who ran an experimental cancer hospital in the hotel, is still seen today in his purple shirt and white linen suit. Tours are offered year-round, and apparently it's pretty common for visitors to report being tucked into bed where a man in all-black Victorian-style attire appears for a few seconds. With all these eerie sightings, it comes as no surprise that these girls also captured something during their stay. Something very hard to explain. Take a look.
Girls trip, most haunted hotel in America, and my nightstand on the creepy door is my eyes shut. So early bedtime looking for ghosts.
Bet you missed it, didn't you? When she pans the camera around, we can see a white figure, almost like an uninvited little girl who seems to have joined the party. Now, one thing we noticed was her shadow, which can be seen on the wall just before she runs in front of the camera. That, of course, raises the question, do ghosts have shadows? Or was this a hoax, and that was her daughter or something? If so, how the heck did she run full speed into the bedside table without crashing and screaming? Creepy, isn't it? You've probably watched this next one on other paranormal channels already, but almost every single one of them decide to hide a crucial part from you. And trust me, this will likely change your mind about the whole thing. Stick around. A mother, a camera, and a daughter who's scared witless to be in her room. What was moving behind her daughter's window? Let's find out.
Alright, my daughter's room is up there, and we keep seeing some... Alright, put your flashlight up.
What is that?
Okay, wait, we're gonna look down for a minute, but put your flashlight down. Let's see if we can get it to go again. Alright, flash it up there. Oh, now it's gone. Put your flashlight down.
So, she armed herself with the camera and found that there appeared to be someone peeking through the blinders. But whenever the flashlight shone at the window, their hands moved away from it. Pretty creepy and convincing, right? Well, many of you who are big paranormal fans like us must have seen this one on several other paranormal channels.
No, we didn't. Yes, you did! No, we didn't.
But what if we told you they didn't show you the full picture?
I disagree.
Don't worry, here's the part you haven't seen yet.
Watch it again.
That's it, I'm going up there, I'm going up there.
Put it down, put your flashlight down. Let's see if it'll do it again. Alright, put it up, hurry. Oh, look at that, dude.
That's right, her son runs straight into the house with a supposed intruder inside, and her reaction is laughing. Plus, which mother in her right mind would find someone in her daughter's bedroom and the first idea would be filming it without calling the police? Logical, it doesn't make sense. So it wouldn't be fair to leave it up to you to decide when you haven't seen the suspicious parts. But now you know. Our theory? We don't know how many kids she has, but it's possible she got one of her older kids to pull a Halloween prank on the younger ones. Either way, as paranormal fans, we want to believe the truth is out there, but sadly, it looks like we're not gonna find it here.
It's never a bright idea to go full Rambo mode into one of the most dreaded paranormal sites in the state, especially when you're a noob in ghost hunting. Why? Because you'll go from that to running for your spare pants in a heartbeat. That's exactly what these Mystery Inc. wannabes found out when they decided to explore an old creepy-ass building. Let's just say the experience was a bit more than they could handle. Take a look.
Look at that. It's like somebody fell through the roof or something. These are stairs. I don't know. Watch where you're stepping now. This is a room. Can't really see, but it's just a big empty room with, it's like the fireplace caved in or something. See that? Alright, let's go in here.
Get out of here. Oh, snap. Watch out, guys.
This
A lot
is
of wood.
creepy, dude. You hear that? Creepy.
Hey, guys, look at that hole.
Huh?
Looks like someone tried to...
That's creepy, man. Hold on. You hear that? Shh. Quiet. You hear that? Did you hear that?
I heard something. You going first.
What the hell is that?
Whatever it was. Creepy as heck.
Oh.
I don't know.
Creepy.
Kitchen looks overheated.
Bricks falling down. This whole wall's gone, dude. That's crazy. Old stove. I don't know what to do. Hold on, you hear that?
What? I heard it too. Go, man.
Oh, let's get out of here, man. It's creepy. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my! Get out of here!
Armed with their poor equipment and a few kids who should have just been doing their homework, they ventured into their old boarding school, one said to have been destroyed by a cannonball during the last Civil War, tragically killing everyone inside. As they moved deeper into the building, eerie whispers began echoing from the shadows.
That's creepy, man. Hold on. You hear that? Shh. Quiet. You hear that?
And their unreliable flashlight was doing them no favors. Shaken by the growling coming from the shadows, they decided it was time to turn back and head for safety, but not before coming face to face with a chilling figure lurking in the hallway. The sight of it sent them all into a full-blown panic, racing toward the nearest exit in pure terror. But come on, let's be honest, wouldn't we all?
Late one night, two friends decided it would be a brilliant idea to mock the paranormal and mess around with a Ouija board, just for a bit of a laugh. But little did they know, they were about to get a response from something that didn't find the joke very funny. Now, for anyone who knows anything about these so-called spirit boards, there are golden rules you're just not supposed to break. But these two guys, full of skepticism, threw the instruction manual straight out of the window. Here's the moment they realized they made a massive mistake.
¿A los cuántos años se va a morir el pan? Ah, estás pendejo, güey. Es idiota. No, güey, mejor hacerlo más chido así como que... Chinga su madre ya, manifiéstate, güey. Si va a haber algo, se va a manifestar, güey. Pues mamá. Ya. Mamá.
No matter how fast they darted out of there, they couldn't outrun whatever the hell they had managed to summon. The guys in this video broke one of the most important rules of Ouija sessions, aside from just don't use one at all. Never take your hands off the planchette before the session has properly ended. Doing so is believed to create a portal from the world you are trying to contact straight into your own, which is probably why all the stuff in the room was being flung all over the place. Could that be what happened here? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Cesar Torres has dedicated a large portion of his adult life to running headfirst into God knows what as long as it's spooky. His TikTok page is littered with videos of him exploring varying and abandoned locations. But as you know, that line of work is extremely high risk for a possible high reward. In one of his clips, he explains that during one fateful investigation at an abandoned hospital, he felt as though something otherworldly attacked him. After that night, nothing was ever the same. He started to notice strange things happening in his home. He began to feel a general sense of unease alongside hearing bumps, bangs and children's voices. Obviously, something evil has latched onto him, and it wants something to do with that baby. After noticing that it wasn't just a passive haunting, he got up to get in his car and flee the house. But as he checked his rearview mirror, he felt as though he could see the entity waiting right behind him. It's slightly blurred, but there does seem to be some kind of eerie outline in that reflection. After that, somehow it pulled Caesar right back into the house with his partner and child in tow. But that might have been the biggest mistake he's ever made, because while they were trying to get their baby to sleep, a knock echoed through the house. When they opened the door, they weren't met with a person. They were met with a cardboard box. Harmless, right? Well, it was, until he decided to crack it open.
Mira. Ve. Ve.
Ay, sí, guácala. Oh. Es horrible, horrible.
Tápalo bien, tápalo bien.
¿Qué es eso?
Siguen escuchando demasiadas cosas, ¿verdad? Mira.
Con esa huele tan feo.
Hay algo, ¿eh? ¡Hey!
¿Sí escuchas? ¿Escuchas? ¿Qué?
Esto solo es una advertencia. Queremos lo que ofreciste. No se te ocurra romper. O es esto o las cosas empeorarán. Tienes que venir.
¡Ay, no!
¿Listo?
Tierra. ¿Qué es eso?
Trae muchos alfileres.
No, es que estoy escuchando muy cerquita.
Trae muchos alfileres, ve esto. Trae demasiados alfileres.
Ya no lo sigas abriendo.
No. Te digo, tiene como un papel aquí, ve.
Un papel.
¿Alcanzas a ver? Enfócalo.
¿Me enfoco? ¿Es tu foto?
Parece mi foto. Como si los alfileres estuvieran atravesando mi cara, ve. Está como súper mojado. Mi foto.
Tu foto. Tu nombre. Déjame lo enfoco. Ve.
Y yo creo que lo que quiere es que vaya donde ofrecí mi alma. Oiga.
What in the fresh hell is any of that? The fact the clip comes pre-censored is a real indicator of quite how gory the situation had become. While we don't necessarily know the real contents of the jars, or what the different letters say, it's pretty clear that they're not all being invited to a nice night out. Many of Caesar's viewers became genuinely worried about him and his family's well-being, and there were a lot of speculations of the contents of the box being that of black magic. You don't say.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to.
Naturally, the husband and wife decided to do what any logical person would do in their situation. They took the box to a cemetery and burnt it. Obviously, it didn't go to plan.
No me deja prenderlo, No me deja prenderlo. No me deja prenderlo. Ya no se prende. A ver. Ahí está. Aquí termina. ¿Qué fue eso?
¿Escuchaste?
Aquí termina todo.
Ven, ven.
Aquí dejamos todo. No nos llevamos nada a casa. Permítenos ya estar en paz. No queremos llevarnos nada a casa. Queremos que todo termine aquí. Si ves cómo se... Oye, ¿escuchas cómo truena? ¿Escuchas cómo truena?
Sí, sí, sí.
Esto es un trabajo. ¿Qué dijeron?
The cardboard just wouldn't go up, and while they tried to ignite the flame, they both began to hear very strange noises echoing between the tombstones.
Estoy planeando regresar, o ¿tú crees que tengamos que hacer? De verdad, tengo mucho miedo, parece como si alguien nos estuviera vigilando.
Yo creo que no puede. Pero ven, algo se asomó atrás de ti. Algo se asomó atrás de ti.
Sensing that something in the graveyard wasn't happy with them being there, they both decided to bolt straight back home. But when they returned, Caesar realized that perhaps it was too late for any kind of intervention, because this was what awaited their arrival.
Oigan, voy llegando a mi casa y vean lo que encontré. Esa playera es mía, estaba ya colgada. Me pareciera que está llena de sangre. ¿Qué es eso? Vean, eso está lleno de sangre. ¿Qué es eso de allá? No mames. Oigan, neta, yo voy llegando a mi casa, Voy llegando a mi casa y vean lo que acabo de encontrar. Esta playera aquí. Ah, cabrón. Ey, no mames. Ey, ¿qué pedo con eso? La playera aquí. ¿Qué hay aprendido? Ahí yo dejé, ahí fue donde yo dejé el puño de sal, ahí fue donde yo dejé el puño de cabrón. Están escuchando cosas de aquel lado. No puede ser. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Por qué esta playera está así? Esa playera es mía. Está todo aquí tirado. Vean, yo no había llegado a mi casa. Tiene algunas letras aquí que dice por aquí Panteón. Dice Panteón de los Niños. Se alcanza a leer como Panteón de los Niños.
The stained shirt and box could have been done off camera, and the flying objects could also have been thrown by someone lurking in a dark corner off camera. But the lead up to all of this has been so insane that you almost can't help but believe him. Caesar made the decision to open the box, only to be met with one of the most horrifying sights he had ever seen.
¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué hay ahí?
Only needed a few centimeters to nope right out of there. Eventually though, he prized the full lid off and moved the box, wishing with every moment he had just left the well alone.
Por favor, díganme qué significa eso. Y esto de la caja B, o sea... ¡Ey! Ahí se vio algo. Se vio algo. ¡Ey! Se vio algo. ¡Ey! ¿Qué pedo? Ahí se vio algo. Yo vi algo aquí. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? De verdad, si alguien sabe qué es esto, por favor, díganmelo. Vean lo que hay aquí. Aquí también hay una estrella de esas. Hay una pequeña... ¡Uah! Esto huele muy mal, parece que es carne. No sé si esto... Vean, ¡ay, cabrón! Vean, hay unas notas aquí. Una dice pura Jim. Si alguien sabe qué significa, por favor díganmelo. Díganme qué significa. Hay otra nota aquí. Y ese muñeco que, o sea, ¿qué es lo que significa? Vean.
Caesar has posted on his account since. At the time of the video being made, he has posted just 11 hours ago, but there have been no mention of the weird box. Surely, if you had a paranormal channel and you receive a box full of blood, weird symbols and a voodoo doll that looks like you'd never stop milking that for content. Or at the very least, you'd keep an ongoing commentary about it on your socials, right? Is it even Caesar controlling his own social media anymore? Or did the darkness take over?
Imagine working in a haunted hospital with many reports of paranormal activity when suddenly this happens.
¿Viste eso? Mirá. Adri, mirá. ¿No viste lo que pasó? No.
While recording a hospital tour, the staff of this Mexican medical ward captured the silhouette of someone or something walking into one of the rooms. And the thing is, according to them, there was nobody around. Many paranormal believers swear that hospitals house the souls of those who passed away while inside, and this could certainly be the perfect footage to back that theory, especially when she seemed so genuinely spooked.
Mirá. ¿No viste lo que pasó?
But on the skeptical side, unfortunately we couldn't get a full view of the floor or the left area, so whoever passed by could have already been hiding by the time she got closer. Plus, did you see the shadow on the doorframe? Do ghosts have shadows? What do you think? Is that somebody with a blanket over their head? Or is this another one of the many reports of spooky happenings inside this supposedly haunted hospital? Let us know your thoughts.
This TikToker woke up to a very good surprise, or so she thought. After seeing a flood of notifications when one of her videos went viral overnight, she quickly turned her attention to the comment section. And that's when she realised that her camera picked up on something terrifying. Take a look. Knowing that she was alone, her viewers fled to the comments section immediately, urging her to get the hell out of there. And while we can't see the other rooms to prove that she was really alone, we've read enough comments over the months to know that some of you guys have seen shadow figures creeping up on you inside your home. But if you never shared your experience, now is the perfect time to do it. Feel free to jump to our comment section.
If you cast your mind back a few videos, you might remember us featuring a story about the infamous Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Built in 1796, the place is naturally a breeding ground for historical tales. However, it all makes for a very sinister story. With so many different families occupying the plantation throughout the years, some tragic family deaths would naturally occur. Still, some of those passings might not have been down to natural causes. Slaves were rumoured to have been abused and hung, children were rumoured to be poisoned, and there was the confirmed shooting of previous owner William Winter in 1871, who tried to re-enter the house before allegedly succumbing to his injury on the 17th stair leading up to the plantation. Since the plantation closed down and reopened as a historical tourist attraction, the ghost stories were flying thick and fast, with hundreds of patrons claiming they could see all of the lost souls trapped within the walls. This is why any footage caught in the Myrtles Plantation is spectacularly spooky, especially this video that was captured during a history tour, where the supposed spirits were not happy with all the new faces. You could give all sorts of reasons as to how and why this happened, from mechanisms to unbalanced weight. But with all of the history considered, it's no coincidence that the statue got sent to the Shadow Realm. If you're not convinced that these happenings are ghostly, the media certainly is. The plantation has been featured on loads of shows, most notably Unsolved Mysteries in 2001 and Ghost Hunters in 2005. It has been coined as one of the most haunted houses in America. So with all that backstory and context, do you think the legends are true? Do you think the murders really happened? And if so, are the spirits still stuck roaming the halls? Let us know your hot take down below.
In August 2021, YouTuber Dark Mystic jumped on a terrifying adventure to investigate a haunted house deep in the Russian woods. Well, it turned out to be an experience that would push him to his limits. According to him, other paranormal investigators went there with their fancy gadgets and camera crew. But apparently, only those who Rambo the challenge alone end up catching something unexplainable. Those usually come back pretty shaken up by what they encounter there, with a few swearing never to set foot in that place again. The place became so feared that its Russian nickname loosely translates to the Ghost Residence, while others simply call it the House with the Violent Ghost. But what is a malevolent spirit to a man whose goal is to explore the most haunted places in Russia? On this Friday night, he packed his gear, ready to venture into this crazy house. But boy, it was an experience he won't be forgetting anytime soon.
Так, а тут, по-моему, были заколочены стекла. Это что? Кто это делает? Ребят, по-моему, когда я здесь был, окна были заколочены. Ракетка теннисная. Тут все отваливается где-то, а?
A couple of minutes before midnight, he starts his investigation by first going through each room of the house to prove to his fans that the place is completely empty. But as he moves through the house, the tension starts to build as he begins to hear things, with absolutely no one or thing in sight. It's easy to put this down as an insect or rodent, right? That's what we thought too. But this subsequent encounter proves that there might be something way more unsettling at play here. This is the footage that was caught.
Сейчас приступаем к КГФ и попробуем узнать, кто тут есть. Здесь со мной может выйти кто-нибудь на контакт. Здесь со мной может выйти кто-нибудь на контакт. Здесь со мной может выйти кто-нибудь на контакт. О, пламя разгорелось.
As he tries to make contact with whatever's lurking in the house, the shelf suddenly shakes. Like someone or something wanted to make sure he knew it was there. Then the candle flame starts flickering, but this wasn't just a breeze. Convinced that whatever made the noise wanted to communicate, he kept pushing for more. Little did he know, he was in way over his head.
Я заметил шумы, падения и всякой еще ерунды. Я знаю, что ты здесь находишься. Ты можешь?
Я могу.
Молодец. Ты можешь назвать свое имя? Меня зовут Евгений. Ты можешь назвать свое имя? Назови свое имя.
Назови ты.
Я тебе только что назвал свое имя. Назови свое имя.
Назови ты.
Я тебе только что назвал свое имя. Это что сейчас было? Психуешь, что ли? Где ты сейчас находишься? Что тут происходит? Камера пишет. Где ты сейчас находишься?
Сзади тебя.
It seemed like our guy struck a nerve when he asked for the spirit's name. After all, malevolent spirits don't just hand out their names. Too much risk of exorcism. That's when the wardrobe door in the next room suddenly creaked shut. And to make things even creepier, his camera caught the exact moment the mirror reflected light from the other camera. What's even creepier is that he claimed the wardrobe door had been wedged to the floor when he first checked it out. So you can imagine the shock on his face when he realized it had been moved by someone or something. But that wasn't the only spine-chilling moment. Just as he asked where the entity was, did you notice how the device eerily responded? Behind you.
Сзади тебя.
Is this all just a clever trick? A game of smoke and mirrors? Hold that thought and see what happens next.
Ходит. Это ты это делаешь? Что-то вроде все успокоилось. Какой нервный, а?
Нет.
Это не ты это все делаешь. А кто это делает? Ты один в этом доме? Сколько вас здесь находится? Везде шумы какие-то. Сколько вас здесь находится?
Четыре.
Ты что там, полдома что ли развалилось? Нет, она вроде целая. Это что такое упал? Это дверь, что ли?
While interacting with whatever was lurking in the house, he discovers 3 other entities. As the night dragged on, these entities got more aggressive, trying to get close, but it seemed like something was keeping them from reaching him. That might explain the footsteps from the attic, and the chunk of the building that fell caught on camera 4. No one was seen in either case, making the whole thing even creepier. But after all that, the spirit suddenly went radio silent, leaving him alone with the unsettling question of what went wrong. He eventually left with an experience that's definitely etched into his memory. What will he find next? We'll just have to wait and see. When people get bored, they usually read a book, hang out with friends, or exercise, but this dude explores creepy abandoned buildings at stupid o'clock in his spare time. Little does he know, he's about to understand the reason why his parents keep telling him that this might not be the wisest of hobbies, because tonight things take a sudden turn into the realm of panic, where curiosity may indeed prove costly for him. It all starts when he decides to check out an old apartment that was mysteriously abandoned. Soon, he figures out why the previous residents left in a hurry, leaving almost everything behind. After walking into a room with an upside-down crucifix, he suddenly hears an eerie jingle from the music box. While this would be enough to scare anyone witless, he continues his exploration. That is, until he comes face to face with his worst nightmare. As the camera pans across the room, an item on the shelf is knocked down by someone, or something, and objects are thrown at him by whatever's in the house. What the hell could have flung those things at him? Wasn't he supposed to be alone on this one-man Scooby-Doo adventure? After this barrage, he gets the message and runs to safety, not minding that his leg gets caught in some of the stuff on the ground. As legit as the guy might appear, we're not in the business of taking videos at face value, so let's take a deeper look. While the music box could have been tampered with by a remote device, it appears far too ancient to have such a feature, but we're not entirely ruling out that possibility. But what about the item that fell from the shelf? Strings, perhaps? Given the poor quality of the video, it's hard to look past the possibility of that, and since he turned his camera to the ground when things were tossed at him, it's hard to tell if it was staged. That being said, there's a possibility that something far more sinister decided to freak him out there. What do you think though? Real poltergeist activity caught on camera? Or a cheap shot at paranormal fakery? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. From lifelong skeptic to a believer, a man travelling for work has his disbeliefs shattered by unexplained noises and disturbances in his new apartment. In search of answers, he invites a paranormal investigator to spend the night. However, what they captured on camera gives them an unforgettable scare. Let's watch.
Были именно когда меня не было в квартире. Только что были стуки в дверь. Там нет никого. Почему ты начал водить хозяйку этой квартиры? И кто ты вообще? В каком смысле? Хочешь, чтобы я ушел? Кто ты? Да кто ты такой вообще?
After some digging, they found that the apartment has a haunting history, which started when the former owner and her sister inadvertently summoned a demon through a mirror when they were kids. But a lot of things in these videos didn't seem right to us. For example, when he heard a bang on the front door, why didn't he open it to find out if it could have just been kids fooling around? Secondly, where was he in this scene? And why didn't he hear what was going on in the kitchen? Bear in mind that he doesn't suffer from hearing issues, as it seemed he heard the chocolate being eaten earlier pretty clearly. Any serious paranormal investigator would rush to that area after hearing commotion, unless he was too busy puppeteering. After spotting so many signs of fakery, our curiosity piqued, so we began to question almost everything he did. But what really grabbed our attention was the water scene. It's a jump cut. You can even see the change in brightness. Focus on this point here while we repeat the jump cut a few times, and you'll see the light jumping clear as day. Not to mention that his door is clearly opened by someone in a green suit, edited out of the footage. Notice the video artifacts here where they place their poor software masking technique in an attempt to hide the person who's moving the door. Can you see the blurriness around this area? Of course, when we saw this reflection, which seems ridiculously doctored, our curiosity fell down the toilet. And we didn't even mention yet that time he turned on his thermal camera and used his flashlight to fake the movement of some sort of paranormal energy. So yeah, we gave up on this one, but hey, maybe we're wrong, and his supposed paranormal activity just looked way too similar to the tricks anyone can do using video editing software, right? Well, whether you believe this one or not, at least now you've learned a few things about faking ghost videos. Always keep your eyes wide open, and let us know in the comments if you spotted something we missed. JJ Anthony, a Colombian security guard, frequently finds himself amidst a series of strange occurrences at his new workplace. But a few nights after he caught a gate moving on its own, something terrifying happened. Something so downright chilling, he's now starting to regret ever applying for this new job. Take a look.
¿Qué hizo? Era ¿usted con quién está hablando ahí?
¿Cómo con quién estoy hablando?
Sí, ¿con quién está hablando ahí luego usted?
Con una propietaria de la casa 125.
Marica, la propietaria de la casa 125 falleció hace como unos 20 días, marica.
No, ¿cómo así? ¿Qué me está diciendo?
Sí, no, usted está hablando ahí solo, marica, lo estoy viendo aquí por la cámara, usted está hablando ahí solo.
No, como mierda, loco.
While making his routine security check rounds to a popular condominium in Santa Marta City, JJ was approached by someone who claimed to be one of the owners of that condominium, introducing herself to JJ and welcoming him to his new post. However, his colleague, whose job is to monitor the CCTV, kept a watchful eye on that camera feed when he noticed JJ conversing with someone, but no one appeared on the CCTV footage. Perplexed, he called JJ, asking who the hell he was talking to when there was no one to be seen before him. That's when JJ Anthony told him who he was talking with, to which his colleague immediately replied in a terrified voice, but she passed away nearly 20 days ago. Of course, chilled to his spine, JJ took to his heels. Even though this could be easily staged, his reaction seems pretty genuine, and so does his colleague's surprised voice on the phone. And it's not like newspapers will report on the death of every single condominium owner in Santa Marta, so we can't really verify if the story they're telling is true or not. But could JJ and his pal be so bored at work that they decided to put their acting skills to the test? Or is that condominium now a truly haunted place? Share your thoughts down below. Sometimes there are paranormal videos online that look so real it's fascinating. And that happened when we stumbled upon this guy who claims his house is haunted by a tumultuous black silhouette.
Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
While it kinda does look like a kid in a black morph suit, it's nearly impossible to spot a jump cut in this clip, so of course we had to keep digging.
Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. I've been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh shit. Okay. I'm just gonna set it up. Paper towels. And we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or you gotta go downstairs or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Calm down. He's okay. Please, not today. Just, holy cow. Little buddy.
While the shadow looks a bit computer generated, there are no other clear signs of fakery yet. No signs of strings, mechanisms, or even artifacts when the door opens, so we can't say for sure he's using software masking yet. It's either real paranormal activity or some spooky clips edited by some kind of Hollywood blockbuster video editor, right? But the more we dug, the more suspicious things became.
It is right there this time. Hello? Hey, no. No, stay there. Hey. Oh my God. Dude. It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe we are digging too much into this, but you've got to admit, the shadow just doesn't look right, does it? Something about the way it moves and changes its translucency seems too convenient, so at this point, we had to dig a little further than just his TikTok videos. And that's when we found his YouTube channel using the same TikTok handle, which had a link to his Amazon shop. His Amazon shop linked to his Instagram, which shows us very little aside from a video he posted a while back. Oh boy, his editing skills are brilliant. At this point, we knew we were not dealing with someone experiencing paranormal activity. We're dealing with a true professional. But a quick search for his real name on Facebook revealed the proof we needed. He is actually a professional video editor for Discovery, the multinational mass media giant. It seems that the mystery of the strange shadow figure is solved then, so the next time you see another paranormal channel featuring Win McPix from TikTok, now you know. Nearly had us all fooled, but the internet always leads you back to the truth if you look hard enough.
If there's one thing you need to learn from this video, is that you should never listen to your friends when they tell you to investigate an abandoned building known for being a hotspot for strange rituals, where cloaked people have been spotted multiple times. This guy listened to one of his friends and armed himself with nothing but his camera and a torchlight, but he soon found out why that was such a dumb thing to do.
If you're listening, turn up the volume. There's something going on there. This place has been abandoned for a long time, my buddy said. Shouldn't be anybody in here. What is that? find a back way out. Jesus. Hello?
As he explored the area, he was drawn to this rustling from another part of the building. Curious and scared witless, he edged ever closer to uncovering the spine-tingling mystery, but that's when he ran into this creepy stranger. As he reached the area where the sound was coming from, he spotted what looked like someone with a mask and darted straight out of there. Bet you would do the same, especially after hearing all the stories of sacrifices and weird stuff going on when the word rituals gets mixed up with the words abandoned building. Did he narrowly escape being a victim? If only instead of one, there were more cloaked strangers inside. Or is this just a bunch of friends creating another spooky video to freak us all out? Let us know your thoughts. Ever had that gut feeling something's off before you even step out of the car? Yeah, that's exactly what happened to this guy the second he parked his van near an old abandoned church to film another episode of his UK van life series on YouTube, where he shows the ins and outs of living in a van. But this time it felt different. And being the brave soul he is, or maybe just stubborn, he stepped out anyway. His destination? A cemetery is hidden just beyond the trees. And, as we all know, nothing good ever happens in the woods after dark, right? With a flashlight cutting through the dark like a knife, he begins walking toward the cemetery. Every step he takes sounds louder than it should, almost like the ground itself is trying to warn him to turn back. The deeper he goes, the weirder things feel. It gets heavier, more suffocating, until suddenly, silence. Not the peaceful kind, but that bone-chilling quiet that makes you realize you're not alone, even though no one else is supposed to be there. But here's where things get downright chilling, because little did he know, his camera was about to capture something truly terrifying. Take a look.
Deeper into the woods, because I don't think if I was a ghost and I come out of the cemetery, why would you knock about just on the outskirts? Do you know what I mean? You sleep there all day, you're going to want to go into the woods. What the hell was that? Whittard's White Hot Chocolate, the luxury version. I didn't really think this through. I should have got a saucepan with a lid. Right, can we use this cooker whilst it's still in the box? That is the question.
Laugh, laugh. You'll be crying later when you check out what your camera just captured. Did you catch that? Don't worry, it's hard to spot, but thank goodness for image enhancement. Watch closely. Almost like it's watching him, waiting for him to notice. But if this peeping Tom, or whatever it might be, was only watching, things would have been different. Trouble is, it wasn't. Instead of turning back, he inches closer, heart racing, trying to figure out what he's dealing with. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it does. As he turns back towards the van, he notices something far more terrifying. A figure standing completely still about 20 feet away. It's covered in mud head to toe, but it's not moving. Just standing there, watching. No sound, no movement. Watch closely.
It's fine. It's frogs and pigeons. Pigeons! I love pigeons. The light on the top of my camera, I think it's going to die quite soon, so I'm only going to have my torch left. Right, I'm starting to get a little bit lost, not going to lie. But I think I'm going to head back towards the way that I came because I swear I keep seeing someone. Hold on. There's no one there. I swear there was. I think I'm going to go this way, to be honest with you. The hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the f? I can't see anything.
That's when he bolts, heart pounding, adrenaline kicking in, sprinting back to the van without a second look. And honestly, would you stay to find out what that muddy person or thing wanted? Because whatever it wasn't there for a friendly chat, that's for sure.
This family had set up home security cameras after a few run-ins with what they believed to be a paranormal entity. After one too many times looking at something topple to the floor untouched and sensing a strange presence, they wanted to catch something on camera. But it was their cat that ended up capturing something spooky. The cat's leg just gets yanked into the air by nothing at all. You can see its whole body and tail as it ascends, and there is no hand holding any part of it. So what happened? It doesn't look like a jump, unless this cat knows how to do a somersault and hover in the air while doing so. Could this be the poltergeist footage the family wanted to catch? Or is there something behind this footage that we haven't managed to figure out? Let us know your thoughts. By the way, a huge thank you to our members of the week, Chelsea Pinkston and Crystal Alcantara. You can join the wonderful people who make this content possible by signing up to our Patreon, or you can just like and subscribe. It's free and it helps a ton. My Haunted Hotel in Chester is an immersive and terrifying experience created by a trio dedicated to catching raw and real paranormal evidence. Created by the aptly named group My Haunted Project, it is a 24/7 live surveillance of real guests' supposedly real experiences in one of the most haunted hotels in the UK, clocking in at over 400 years old. The place is drenched with tragic history, and they've had no problems with catching some genuinely convincing paranormal evidence. One of the most haunted elements of the hotel is an item they keep in room 8. A locked box that contains a doll known as the UK's answer to Annabelle, Grace, the most haunted doll in England.
You wanna go out? You wanna leave, yeah? Grant, what is going on in there?
Call out the names Mammon and Orobas.
Mammon and Orobas. What the f? Oh my god, it's a child. It's mimicking a child.
No, I got to go out. My eyes are burning. My eyes are burning.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What does this mean, Jeanette?
While skeptics might assume the noises coming from the room are either edited in or faked with a speaker, surely the guests who stay there would be able to tell. So why are they so petrified? Considering the powerful nature of the haunted items they keep in the hotel, it is no surprise that the strange happenings are pretty active in the bar area as well. While either working, drinking or dining, people have experienced all sorts of head-scratching events that shook them to their cores.
With up to 24 cameras throughout the building, there is over 4,000 hours worth of footage recorded each week, and with hundreds of paranormal enthusiasts passing through weekly, the eyewitness accounts can be backed up every time.
The pub is now more popular than ever. We have people from all over the world that come here to embrace the paranormal atmosphere, and it's amazing when we capture general public experiencing things during the day. I got a text message of James, one of the bar staff. You would have seen him on the show before, and he asked me to check some footage back of the glasses come off the shelf. Now, it's really weird. Not often this happens. It happened one Christmas ago, a few years ago. This is the first time I've actually caught it underneath the till. Could it be stacked weird? I don't know, but it never normally happens.
It's worth noting that we did ask James a number of questions about this.
With so much history behind this place, it is so out of pocket to think it could be the work of something beyond our comprehension. The activity is 10 times creepier in the rooms. However, they are all apparently haunted by a different spirit. Ranging from small children to clergy men, the group cannot escape their fears. In room 1, this is what they've experienced during decorating.
Well, I'm not telling you how much I need that. It's the only thing you won't answer, but it's enough. You know, we just ignored that for like a full minute. No. Fine. I didn't hear anyone. Oh. No, there's not. No, someone's running hidden. No, wait, what?
And then in room 2, they saw something even more chilling.
What just happened? The doll!
The fun doesn't stop there, however, because while the group put all of their attention into the rooms and the pub, something even more sinister was going on below them. Down in the cellar, a camera trap was placed in there randomly one day, on the off chance something could be caught. Which is how they caught this picture. This image is one of the most notorious catches from the hotel, with nobody being able to come up with an explanation for this shadow figure. Another of the real hotspots is the nursery area, filled to the brim with creepy old dolls and the supposed souls of children who once played there. The activity in there never stops for the cameras.
The other thing in this room is an incredibly haunted doll. When we first put this in here, it was a normal doll, just like the other 70 dolls in this building, and...
Oh! Oh my god! No way!
The nursery has also produced some terrifying sounds before this footage was even captured.
Tuesday sessions. What? Brett, I don't know if you can hear me, I've just heard a voice in here. Tuesday sessions. Tuesday sessions.
Where are those voices coming from?
Tuesday sessions.
Another voice was captured in the next room, where during his own personal investigation, the owner attempted to make contact with the previous tenant of the room, only to be left shivering when he received his answer.
Who threw themselves out the window? Or did you get pushed out the window? What is your name? What the?
The name Heidi is distinctly whispered to him.
What the?
But there was nobody else with him in that room. If you want to go into the hotel for yourself to try and see some of this activity with your own eyes, you can book on their website, myhauntedproject.org. A man on the receiving end of some horrifying poltergeist activities decided it was time to leave his old house behind to avoid going nuts. He moved some stuff away, but something strange happened when he returned to pick up other personal items. Take a look. After many attempts to retrieve his personal items from the old place, he decided it was time to find some truths about what was really happening, so he left a camera recording. But what he captured next left him running for his spare pants. Did you notice how the curtains move right after the shadowy figure approaches its edges? The ball he placed in the room also moved. Mind you, according to him, the windows were locked the last time he visited, so what could have moved both the curtains and the ball? Sure, these clips raise many questions, but the video descriptions and his comments section seems to explain everything. For example, why is it always night and dark? It turns out he works during the day and stopped paying the electricity bill when he moved out, leaving him with only stupid o'clock for a chance to grab his stuff from that creepy house. So, real poltergeist activity, or another stunt to become social media famous? Did you spot anything we've missed? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. While sifting through some of his son's artwork, this father was delighted at the wholesome art he was seeing. But that mood soon took a sharp and sinister turn when he happened upon one picture his son had drawn that was less happy families and more nightmares come to life.
Gente, esto parece de película. Entre los dibujos de mi hijo, miren lo que encontré como escondido aquí, ¿vale? Miren esto. Miren esto. ¿Qué cojones, tío? Ay, Dios. Que un niño dibuje esto. Este soy yo supuestamente, ¿no? ¿Él? ¿Esto qué es? ¿Un tipo de diablo? ¿Y esta mujer? Y una tumba con mi nombre. Uf, esto ya parece de película, señores. Me acabo de quedar alucinando. Uf, voy a tener que hablar con él a ver qué es esto. Estoy flipando en colores, la verdad.
Talk about artistic expression. While the picture is downright disturbing, sometimes kids do draw strange things depending on what media they've consumed or the conversations they've had and overheard. But what could this kid have seen to prompt a picture like that? Maybe some kind of premonition. A premonition that might begin to explain the bone-chilling events that started to plague the house after the father discovered the drawing. Did you see that? As he peeks around the corner, reflecting faintly in the bottom of the glass door in front of him, is a formidable face plastered with a grim smile. It was there in the beginning of the video too, right after the knocking. Could that face be the demon the guy's son drew earlier on? Whatever it is, has latched onto him by the sounds of it, meaning it all got a lot worse.
Escucha, escucha. Escucha. Para eso. Escucha. Coño. Oye, yo. Coño. Venía de aquí, ¿verdad? ¡Mira! ¡Dios! ¡Corre! ¡Sale!
Not only are the demons lurking behind doors, they're slamming cupboards as well. Both terrifying and quite rude, actually. Do you think that the drawing was a catalyst for this? That the entities inside the house showed themselves to the son and were able to get him to manifest them into existence? Or did this guy draw that himself and do a bit of fancy editing? Let us know your thoughts down below. While exploring the area around an abandoned building in Scotland, this guy was shocked when he realised that it might not be so abandoned after all. He already felt the strange tendrils of dread creeping up his throat as he tiptoed around the place, so he pulled out his phone and pressed record to see if what he could hear would pick up on camera, and oh boy, did it.
It is a ghost.
Just a wind.
Wait. Must be a ghost. No, it's a ghost. There's nothing else there. What else could it be?
See?
I told you it was fucking haunted.
No matter how much you zoom in, edit, or crop, you can't see anyone. But at around the 1 minute mark, when the boarding on the window opens up, just in the right corner, you can see something. It's not clear enough to properly make any deductions. It could be anything. But it's obvious that there's something in there. It could be the wind making all the noise. It wouldn't be doing it in those kinds of patterns. It all seems so eerie, but what do you think?
There's nothing else there.
Watch closely. Notice how the fur seems to match the grass and foliage. Its proportions, long arms, forward-leaning upper body. The object flying off the shelf is especially creepy, might be in this detail. Her face looks ghostly pale. Her eyes pitch